G'day, my name's Peachy. Welcome back to the channel. Rocking that reseller beard. Every reseller apparently needs to have a beard for some reason. I'm not sure what that's all about, but again, we're growing it. At least for now. It'll be gone. It'll be gone soon. It's just temporary, just to see what it looks like, what I look like as a reseller, a full-time reseller, and this is it. Today, we are going to go for a bit of thrift. Just for transparency reasons, it is over like 3 or 4 days, so it's not just one thrift. So I don't want to be the guy that sells you courses, channel memberships, like I'll be your mentor and all this sort of stuff. And again, it's just a money making exercises. These guys aren't actually interested in helping you, they're just interested in taking your money because they're not actually making that much money in their reselling. That's what it's about. So again, if you want to sign up to these Gold Coast people's courses, mentor programs, you may as well throw your money off the Westgate Bridge. If you're in Queensland, that'll be the Story Bridge. Just throw your money off there. You'll probably get more value out of it. No further ado, let's head to the thrift. And we're at Savers to hopefully find some undiscovered treasures and not so much trash. I'm sure there's a lot of trash in here. I'm sure 99% of your stuff is trash. But if we can find that 1% that is treasure, we'll be happy. We're straight off to the Blu-ray section, and we found this DVD here called Wild at Heart, rated R18. For some reason, this comps up quite well, and I'm thinking actually the soul comps aren't too bad on it either. So we decided to put it in the cart, and we had a bit of a squeeze around the pictures, the kitchenwares, the kitchen appliances, all that sort of stuff. We found this Mickey Mouse. This is a Disney, like a statue. It's from a company called Brito, and they make some pretty cool, desirable Disney figures. And this thing actually did weigh quite a bit, but we're happy with it because it seems to comp up quite well. So put that one in the trolley. They had some games, but most of them were PC games, and I don't really get too many PC games these days. I think some of them, the older games, I don't think you need the codes, but the new ones, I think you do need the codes. It's had some decent titles there, Need for Speed and a few others, but really not that passionate about PC games, if I'm honest with you. And again, the Wii games just sucked, so we didn't even bother with those. And it looked like someone traded in their whole collection of these comic-type books. They're more comic books that have been turned into actual books, so you might get, I don't know, 2 or 3 comic books incorporated into the book, or a volume, or we're going to call it. Comic books that seem to have fallen off anyway in terms of their value. To the DVD players, they had quite a lot here, and I was really intrigued by this Samsung combo VHS DVD player. A lot of these do go for good money, and Samsung is a pretty good brand to buy. But for $20, and I also wasn't feeling it. Sometimes sending this off, packing it, just not worth my bother, especially as a part-timer or casual really. And to the shoes, they had this Kevin Durant basketball boots, shoes, whatever you want to call it. Really good condition, but for $25, we put them back. Hopefully someone at the local Frankston basketball stadium will buy these, wear these, rock these, hopefully score 29 points a game and dominate. We'll see. To the hats, don't really pick up hats too much, but we found this BCF, kind of like this trout or fish protruding out of the hat, which is pretty cool. We also looked at the ties. You'd find this vintage AFL Melbourne tie. AFL vintage stuff goes quite well with anything. And also this really cool Davenport Marvin the Martian tie, both for $5. I was tempted on both of these, but I think one of these couldn't be bothered with it. Tight moods. Should have probably picked up the Marvin. Even the Melbourne one would have been okay. Some of the t-shirts are one of my better sellers, especially if I buy them cheap and sell them for a lot more than I buy them. I can make that good profit. And they just had some pretty cool t-shirts today. They had the Chicago Bulls one, but that's not the one we picked up. We picked up another one. So they had a couple there. And I thought I struck gold. This t-shirt just looked expensive. It's like a Champion, like an embossed logo with the gold. I thought, this looks unique. It looks expensive. Comped it up, it was going for $1 plus post on eBay. So sometimes good looking items, they look expensive, but they're not. That was the case there. But this was a bit of a unique item as well. It was like an Aztec looking Champion reverse weave hoodie. Don't really buy Champion hoodies that often, because most of the time they're just black, red, white for the most part. And this was just that really cool looking Aztec design, South American design, whatever you want to call it. So I did pick that one up. And this is another brand here, Philip Plein. I'd never heard of it before, but I comped it up, and for some reason, if this is real, again, I'm not sure if this brand is faked at all, but it did feel like a good quality pullover, and it does go for quite a lot of money. It's a really desirable brand, which I've never heard of before. So again, you learn stuff as you go. And another good brand is Cat or Caterpillar, and this jacket just looked like a good jacket, insulated. Winter is coming, although we've had a bit of a longer summer in Melbourne at the moment. And for $15, I figured this jacket is worth a lot more than $15. I can make money off that. I'm taking that one home. And AFL, we had the Brownlow Heroes from 1924 to 2013. You can go through there, build a puzzle for all the guys that have won the Brownlow. People like Shane Crawford, Dipper Domenico, all those legends of the past. I did name 2 Hawthorn players there. That was not deliberate. And to the board games, that is Nightmare Horror Adventures. Look pretty cool. Again, board games, you can be missing pieces, not have all the parts. And this one doesn't comp up that well anyway, even though it is quite a unique looking board game. So we did put that one back. And another thing, this one did actually comp up all right. It's called Atmosphere. And again, board games are just something, you don't know if you've got the parts, pieces. I'm always a bit hesitant to buy them. I have bought them a couple of times in the past, but a couple of times I have been burnt, and a couple of times I have made money. And me saying a couple of times means I haven't really bought many over my course of reselling. There's just a bit of the toy section, fairly well stacked for Carrum Downs. And we did find these Funkos. One thing I really do hate is Funkos. I don't know who these guys are. Didn't comp them up, didn't Google Lens them. But again, someone tell me in the comments who these guys are. That's Harry Potter, I know him. I don't really like Harry Potter either. But those they look like a band of some sort. They're definitely baggaged together or something. And they had these Hulk hands. I know the Hulk hands, I don't know, 20 years ago won Toy of the Year. They used to make a noise when you hit something. I'm not sure if these are the same Hulk hands or not, or imitation ones, or just more modern ones. But we didn't pick them up. Regardless, we put them back on the shelf for someone else to buy. And they also had this Operation Escape Room. I think this is like a board game or some sort of game you can play. It was in the actual toy section, not the board games. Something I'd be interested in playing maybe once, seeing what it's about, then probably getting bored of it and never playing it again. Just an interesting sort of thing you don't really see that often. Unique items, that's what I try and show you. And also had this Mr. Potato Head. It's like a carry type case thing. I think the Mr. Potato Head parts were actually in the carry case, the Potato Head carry case, if that makes sense. But again, not sure if the parts are there. Couldn't be bothered with it. Unique item. But again, something, not sure what it's worth. I'm not going to deal with it, put it back on the shelf. And I also had this slime shooter. This is something I was tempted to buy as well. Not for reselling, just to see what it does. And it shoots like 40 meters of slime. So I imagine that would drive some parents insane and probably create also a huge mess. But alas, we put it back on the shelf. All right, now to our pickups. As per usual, we're going to start off with our DVDs, toys, all that sort of whatnot sort of stuff. What do we pick up? What do we pick up? We picked up these Thomas the Tank Engine toys. These ones are pretty cool. They've actually got the names of the person on there. I've got no idea. Besides Thomas, I've got no idea. They got some pretty cool ones like this one where it's like a aquarium type carriage. And I've got like Thomas, it's got some pretty cool artwork on him. So we picked those up. Sometimes I pick these up, sometimes I don't. But just in the mood to pick them up. And they're quite well priced today as well. So we did pick up these Thomas ones. We picked up this Brito Mickey Mouse statue. Really colourful, really cool looking type statue, I guess. Figurine, what do you want to call it. Just looks cool. I'm not a big Mickey Disney guy. But I saw this and I said, yeah, there's got to be money involved in that. To be made from that. So I picked it up, and I think there will be. So that's Brito, Disney. I'm not sure if they're like a collab together, but just a cool looking Mickey Mouse statue. And like I said like you saw, this DVD here wild at heart. And for some reason, one with the R rated seems to go a lot better when it's not rated, especially if it's on Blu-ray. So we did pick that one up. So that's all the toys, DVDs, etc. figurines for the week. And now on to the t-shirts. Picked up a few t-shirts this week. Picked up this Mitchell and Ness, just a cool looking Chicago Bulls t-shirt. It's got like all the premierships, all the championships they've won. It's got a really cool looking Bulls logo, mascot, whatever you want to call it there. A lot of people still like the Bulls stuff back when the Bulls were quite good. Back in the Pippen, Jordan and Horace Grant, the all-star super team they had back then. Reese Plumbing t-shirts, these still tick over quite well, especially if you can find them for about $3. Sometimes these things are $3, sometimes they are a lot more. If you can get them for $3, pick them up. You get about $20 plus post for them, which, you know, not huge profit, but it's profit, and that $10-15 profit you are making can go back into buying other stuff. I've had a WrestleMania t-shirt. I have picked this one up in the past. Just got some of the late 90s, early 2000s big superstars on the front. So you got Austin, Cena, who else is there? Undertaker, The Rock, Triple H. Pretty much, you know, 5 of the biggest wrestlers from that era. And they're all pretty much old men now. And we also picked up a 2-pack t-shirt. Don't normally pick up 2-pack stuff, but it was just a little bit different. I'm not sure that logo means anything, but it just had a good quality feel to it. It had a pretty cool image on there. And look, even the Kmart 2-pack type stuff can go quite well, but that one there is a pretty cool looking t-shirt. So that's our t-shirts. And now on to our jerseys. And we did pick up quite a few jerseys this week, and I always do like picking up a good jersey, especially if it's well priced. And we did pick up quite a lot of Melbourne Heart stuff. So a lot of it was a size small or medium though, which kind of sucks. Would be nice if it was large or XL. But I picked up a Melbourne Heart Westpac, and I think this is like Melbourne City now. It's got the Melbourne Heart logo. So I think Melbourne Heart, they became, or I guess merged or became Melbourne City. So I guess Melbourne Heart don't really exist anymore. So their stuff, I guess, supply demand, they're not being made anymore. So again, I guess it's a bit like the old Brisbane Bear stuff. It becomes a bit more valuable. Another Melbourne Heart one, but this one's actually Melbourne City. But it's Melbourne City with the heart design with the red and white stripes, almost like the Southampton's type jersey. But again, it must be like a retro style jersey where they'll play it in their heart stripes, but they're already known as Melbourne Victory. Another Melbourne City jersey. So a lot of Melbourne, someone must have traded the Melbourne City jerseys this week. So just the plain blue, which is kind of what they traditionally wear. Nike, I think it was a medium size. The Melbourne City Blue A-League. And another Melbourne Heart jersey, Kappa. And this one must have been before they became Melbourne City. So just Melbourne Heart. Pretty cool looking design. I think this stuff is somewhat desirable. And I think that's in the medium. So again, not a large, not an XL, but still decent. I picked up a Liverpool Warrior. So Warrior, for some reason, was a brand that made a lot of Liverpool stuff in the past. And Liverpool, quite a lot of demand as well for it. I still sell a lot of Liverpool stuff. And another Liverpool shirt here, also a Warrior. But the difference is this one's long sleeve soccer. And long sleeve soccer shirts tend to go for a bit more than a short sleeve. I guess it comes back to that thing called supply and demand. And another, what's this? Another Melbourne City. So I picked up about 5 Melbourne City jerseys, heart, whatever you want to call them, and that's the white Melbourne City. That's pretty cool. And we also picked up this Asics Cricket Australia polo from the Ashes in 2013. So it might have been a touring party, but again, cricket stuff did sell quite well during cricket season, and it was to the point where pretty much all my Australian cricket jerseys sold. So again, even that stuff with the Cricket Australia stuff did move quite well. So we picked it up again. That's the jerseys. And now on to the jackets, jumpers, long sleeve, things that keep you warm in winter, all that sort of good stuff. We've had a Renault jacket. So Renault Formula One team. Again, really nice to have this before the Grand Prix. But again, it's still Formula One season. People are still buying it. Renault. Again, a lot of the Formula One stuff like this goes okay. Not huge money, but decent money. Got this cat jacket. Did pick up 2 cat jackets. This was more like a flatter one. Again, pretty big. Insulated. This one's like a 3XL, I think. 3XL. So hopefully a big bloke probably doesn't need too much insulation anyway. So that's one of the cat jackets we picked up. We picked up this Sabo, I think how you pronounce it. This is quite a bit of a banger actually. It has got some pretty good sold comps on it. I think it's like a woman's jacket. Pullover, jumper, what do you want to call it. And it's like the Sabo Athletic Club. Again, long sleeve, hoping to list that. Hopefully make over $100 profit on it. We'll see how we go. This is the cat jacket you would have seen in the video. Again, got this for $15, so good value pickup. Normally these jackets are priced a lot higher. I don't want to say that because savers will probably jack the price up to $40. But again, $15 for that. That's an insulated jacket. That's a thick jacket. That will keep the warm winter. And this brand here, as you would have seen in the actual video itself, it's Philip Plein. So it's kind of like not a camouflage look, but kind of like a really weird camouflage-like design. And it's got this like gold thing on there. It's got this gold thing on the back. Kind of why I picked it up, just because it looked unique. Apparently that goes for a bit of money as well. Until it actually sells for that, I'll say it. But the comps seem to be all right. And the last one we picked up, it is I'm not sure about this. This was something I was a bit umming and ahhing about. It is vintage Quicksilver. So you can see the vintage Quicksilver logo here. And I actually didn't know what this was. I got it off the rack. Kind of asked a couple of people what it was, and it was obviously like a snowboarding ski suit or something. Really weird looking thing. Did pay $15 for it. So it is quite a big looking thing. Funny enough, it's still got the tags on, the bullet tags. That kind of helped me work out what it was. Thought it might have been newer tags at one point. So again, very unique item. It is vintage Quicksilver, but again, very niche type of item. It's either should make you at least $15 profit. Should make my money back. I don't know. It's either going to be a big hit or just breaking even by just trying to sell it low and get rid of it. But we'll see how things go. Either way, it's a very unique item. I haven't seen anything really like that before. And it's vintage. So that's all I pickups for the week. If you got this kind of video, you are a legend. Let's try and get to 500 subscribers. We're not that far away, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck at the thrift.